All right, y'all. Bearder Brothers Golf Show back in for another week. I'm Rod.
And I'm Marcus.
So a couple weeks ago, we talked about how poorly Scotty has been putting the ball this year, and really how bad he's been putting over 20, the 23 season as
Yeah,
well as
last
so far
season and a
this
half
year.
or so. Yeah.
Yep. So saw the um, advice come from Rory that he should change
Wow.
to a mallet, and sure enough, he did. So let me pull this up. So I just have the putter up first. So um, our boy Scotty's playing the TaylorMade Spider Tour X. There's the bottom of it, and there's his kind of grip, the pistol grip. And, I think the argument that Rory made is that there's so much technology in these clubs that, yeah, cool, a blade may look good down by the ball, and that's what you're used to. Maybe that's what you've played since you were a junior
Yeah.
golfer. But take advantage of the technology, which we're going to get into a little bit later with Ricky Fowler as well. But there's new technology available. Why would you just leave that on the table? And so we saw, Scotty putting in quite a bit of work on the practice greens early on in the week. And I'm going to pull this down while we discuss kind of the performance. So I was tracking his putts from day to day. Day
Hmm.
one really was kind of more of the same. He had 31 putts in round one. Round two, got it down to 27, which, that's a pretty kind of standard PGA Tour putting range, 20, 26, 27.
Hmm.
Round three, he got it down to 26. And today, final round, as he pulled away from the field, 24 putts, man. If that doesn't speak to one, him getting comfortable throughout the weekend, and again, seeing dividends from that new putter and the technology, the
Oh
new
yeah.
look, and who knows, he might have to go to something else, change it up down the road, maybe get a different style. Um, if
Yeah.
that starts to wane or he, loses his comfort zone. But I think it shows what we were talking about a couple weeks ago is that the man strikes the ball so incredibly that if he can just putt halfway decent,
Halfway decent.
just a little bit, he is going to dominate fields. And that is what we saw today with the largest margin of victory in some time at the Arnold Palmer. What did you think about just the putter change from Scottie Scheffler?
Yeah. I think what's most important is the results. I think that again, as we have mentioned numerous times with newer players, the younger guys, they're going with what provides the best results.
Mm-hmm.
However it may look. Scotty Scheffler went down that route. He wanted him a pretty little, Scotty T. He wanted him a tour issued only one, and that's fine. He saw what
Yeah,
happened.
went to the Olsen putter, same design, just different weighting and whatnot to
Right.
try to quell that. But yeah,
And we saw what happened. And then you go back to a mallet, more forgiveness, easier to align. Boom. One follows the other. You got
yep.
it lined up. The putts are starting out great. Your pace is amazing. You're not lipping out putts and slapping your leg all crazy because all these putts are dropping now. I mean, the guy was 16 for 16 inside 15 feet today. That's one of
It's
the
crazy.
craziest stats I've ever heard. And you're just draining them like it's nothing. I mean, you go back. I mean, one of the main clips that I was able to see today, I was at work clearly, but 15, second hardest hole, handicapped hole at the course, and bro drains a 30 footer middle center cup like it was nothing. I mean, up the hill, down the hill, double breaking, broke right to left, comes back left to right at the hill and at the hole, and literally drains like it was nothing. I mean, the amount of confidence that that thing instilled in him instantly is just
Yeah,
remarkable. So
yeah.
people want to hate on Rory, but my boy was out here on his prophetic talk. So, you
Roll
know,
saw seeing Scotty roll the rock comfortably, especially on those kind of 5 footers, 5 to 10 footers. was really nice. I forget which hole it was. I want to say it was 14.
Hmm.
He went in the bunker off the tee, bunker from the fairway bunker into the green side bunker, got up and down, clutch putt again, kind of in that uncomfortable range outside of gimme that he's been
Mm.
missing.
Yeah.
You just knew it just looked different, and then at that point, I mean, it was pretty much secured, but he put on the gas a little bit more, and added some strokes to the margin. So
Agreed.
kudos to him, especially heading into the Masters, man. I don't think there is a
The players
better.
next week, even
You're right.
he's the reigning champ in that event.
Yeah, we could have a repeat of his 22 season where he goes,
Scary
Arnie
hours, man,
Palmer.
for real.
Yeah, man. He's the best ball striker in the world. Hands down.
Easily.
Go argue with your mama. He is the best
I
ball
mean, we're
striker in the
talking.
world. What's in the bag? Let's go through his.
Wow.
So like the rest of the TaylorMade guys and gals playing the Q10 at 8 degrees. I'm not surprised by this. I am a little bit surprised by his use of the 3 wood at 15 degrees. That's interesting that we've seen a lot of players playing the jacked up burner
Hmm.
at 13 and a half. Um, but he's playing the traditional 15-degree 3 wood with the 8-degree driver, the Fujikara Ventus Black 7X. I mean, pretty standard issue shaft
Such
there,
a
but
common staff, such a common shaft. I think pretty much every tour player plays that shaft. What do you think, Rod? Hmm? Hmm?
I disagree. But
Golly.
again, back to these trolls. Again, as a TaylorMade staffer, you see him playing the Srixon 3 and 4. This is their driving iron with a lot of tape on it.
Wow,
This one's
such a common club, right? I think a lot of tour players play this club. Don't you? Mm, that's a club I've seen in a lot of bags. I, I can't. I've seen that club in a lot of bags. Haven't you, Rod? Mm,
every week, right? Every
right.
player.
Mm.
A lot. I mean, a lot of the people that are trolling us don't get sarcasm, so they won't understand Marcus's tone. So it'll sound completely foreign to
It will feel.
them.
It'll.
It'll be so weird. They don't know
Oh
what's happening.
man. Oh man.
So before I'm gonna come back to this slide, but this other one has a lot of lead tape on it, and you can tell
Yeah.
these are aged. Like that tape has been on there for a while. He's been playing these bad boys for a little bit.
Mm.
This is not brand new lead tape.
Oh
That's
yeah.
he's
That's
made some adjustments to that.
in all honesty though, that is crazy to me that he has so much tape. I guess you know what? If that club isn't with your staff deal, do you think that he doesn't have the capabilities to go into the Strixon tour bus and get that injected or get that hit with some glue or some lead solvent or something in that? Because I think if it
Uh,
was a TaylorMade club, I think he'd be able to. But it being
yeah,
all kind of outside of his realm, I don't think they're going to allow him to be in the Strixon bus to get this
not like
work or
that.
get
No,
that right to get that deal
no.
in.
I
So
mean,
he has to do the tape game.
a lot of times, when they are not playing clubs that are not part of their club deal, they have to be really kind of
Quiet about
covert
it
about
too.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
so like even
He's
Brooks
taped
Kepka,
up. Yeah.
has the Srixon head cover on his Q10 driver. So if
Yep.
that says all you need to know about you know what
Yeah.
brands want to see and kind of the access that you may or may not be able to get if you're not playing a club within your deal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's crazy that you mentioned that because my first ever event that I went to with Uncle Al, the Shell Houston Open, we were on the tee box and we were watching a guy with he was Callaway staff. And he had maybe a 3 or 4 year old driver. I mean, literally,
Mm-hmm.
you could see it when he's standing, holding it in cane pose. I mean, literally all that stuff. But guess what head cover he had? the most updated head cover because they were
For
like,
Callaway.
bro, yeah, we're pushing the Callaway Big Bertha Epic Flash or whatever it may be that year
Yeah.
was their title driver. So they do that shit all the time. They run that game
Yeah.
every week. So, a lot of, Brooks Koepka's great name. Nike Covert Tour 2 iron that he still holds in his bag as a driving iron.
Hey,
Still
we'll
holds
get
it.
to that. Hold on. Chill out.
You're right.
We're going to
I'm
talk
sorry.
about some
My
Nike
bad,
stuff
man.
later. All right.
My
So this
bad,
is Scotty
man.
time. So TaylorMade P7 TWs, the 5 through pitch and wedge. That's the Tiger iron. I'll get to the picture down here below. So he's playing the Nippon NS Modus 3, or not 3, but NS Pro Modus. Nippon getting a little bit of run. It's
Nippon
surprising.
NS Pro Modus 3 shaft.
There's
That's
been a
very
shift, man.
specific.
So a few years ago, in which I think you're playing KBS right now, right?
Yeah, but Nippon, the Modus shaft is a shaft that I was researching and looking
Considering.
at going to, but they didn't have the weight with the right spin and trajectory that I wanted. Like the
Yeah.
shaft would have still been too light. It was like a 115-gram shaft, but I wanted, like, honestly, I probably in the KBS shafts the money tapers I have, I could probably go 5 more grams and still be okay. I probably could have went stiff plus and went 125 grams, but the 120 feels really amazing in my hands right now. So I'm going to
Yeah.
hush it up.
So Nippon has actually surpassed KBS when you're looking at the top players in the game.
Yeah.
KBS is played by still a handful, but not as much. And then True Temper is kind of continues to lead the game. So he's playing the True Temper
Right.
Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100s. Fairly light shaft, but yeah, he's doing his thing with those. Let's get down to these pictures of the P7 TWs. Traditional blade, the Tiger ones. Only a handful of players actually game these bad boys, but
Yeah.
Clearly, you know, Scheffler is a not a disciple of Tiger, but he wears the shoes, he plays the irons. Came up during the Tiger era, so not
Yeah.
surprising at all. Let's see here before I.
Not one bit.
Yep, Voki. He's still playing the SM8s, which is cool. You stick with what works, right?
Yeah.
Like the design. Pretty rusty. I wonder if he gets these kind of resurfaced, or the kind of grooves redone, or if he's just carrying around a bunch of sets in his garage or something. But he's 2 versions behind, and they don't release these every year.
Every other
Um,
year. These are 4 years old at
every
least.
Yeah. So he's got the 50, 56 with the high bounce, interesting bounce, and then he's playing the Titleist Voki Design Wedgeworks prototype, and he's got that at 60. Interesting setup there.
Do they have a picture of the 60?
I didn't know. I wasn't able to find a picture of the
A
60.
60.5 T grind.
But
That's
it's
a
a
very
prototype.
That's very specific. That's
Yep.
like a grind where, if you look at what he did in the Masters in 2022, that's why he could pull off those shots where it was like coming out super flat, would check up like insane and an insane amount, and then would
Yeah.
release. Hmm,
And we usually
you
don't
know,
get a lot of
but
the detail around the bounce
that's
on
true.
these wedges either. So this 14, that's pretty damn high. And I'm assuming that depending on the course that he's playing, that may vary, and he may go to a lower bounce depending on grass types and whatnot. But pretty high
Well,
bounce
he
there.
might be. That is a high bounce, but it's a F grind though. So if it's a F grind, he might be making more full shots than not. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
he was playing like an M grind, which is very much so a universal grind for everything you want to do, that would
Mm-hmm.
have it more rounded. So anything with
Or he
like an
could
F
open it up
grind,
or something.
yeah. So perfect example. So my 50 My 50 is a F grind. So you see how square it is? Everything that I want
Hmm.
to do, I don't need to open the face or do anything like that. So that's pretty much what I think he's trying to do. He probably uses his 60 a lot in around the greens and as far as like the sand and opening it up and everything like that. So he might be using it more for full shot capabilities. That's probably
Yeah,
why it has so much bounce.
which they were talking about that in the telecast today. It may have been even the Puerto Rico Open that I was listening to them talk about. Um, the guy who ended up winning it, Bryce Garnett, just saying
Yeah, in
that
the playoff.
yeah, he ended up getting like a little bit close, and I think he hit his 60. I think on the fourth playoff hole, and it just had way too much spin. And they were just
Mm,
commenting that most pros don't like to hit their 60 as a full shot club, just because
yep.
it rarely goes as far or carries as far as you would typically expect versus what you can expect from your 56 or your 50 or 52, whatever you carry as a gap wedge in your
Facts.
bag.
Hmm.
So cool beans. Fun going through Scotty's bag. Those have been really popular on the channel. We're gonna keep doing those, and clearly people like knowing what pros are playing because if they were all playing the same stuff, these would get pretty stale
These would
pretty
be
damn
pretty
fast.
obsolete.
You
Absolutely.
get a lot of stuff out of this channel, y'all. A little business knowledge, a little technical golf knowledge, a little BS in here and there. You're in a well-rounded environment. So uh,
Absolutely.
hit that subscribe button, hit that membership button. We got you covered on all things golf.